Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and digitally pictured on your screen is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with Welcome to Mario's Neighborhood, the Pittsburgh Penguins 1985-86 season, Drafting to Victory Part 4. Jeff, first off, I'm surprised you didn't mention that you're not dressed as a penguin holding a hockey stick.
No, I am not.
But we're back after a fairly successful first year, I would say, running the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, made it into the playoffs. We got sort of a mini comeback out of Daryl Sittler. We got the trading deadline.
Yeah.
Who looked like he was just about done with Detroit and wound up putting up a point a game for us down the stretch and had a decent playoffs too. Reunited with Tiger Williams.
Yeah.
So we were just short lining McDonald to have the whole Toronto line.
You never know what might happen. We also, before the trade deadline, picked up Ken Reggett and Ron Hextall, so our goaltending outlook has improved significantly. And now it's more just building out the rest of the team around.
And we also got a really good season out of Denny Aaron as a starter.
Yes.
3.24 goals against average, 886 save percentage, which would be awful now, but in the 80s, that was pretty decent and much better than what he actually did this year in real life. But kind of suspecting he's going to go downhill quickly this year because he actually didn't even play this season. He retired at the end of the previous season, the one we just finished in real life. But now we've got a really mediocre draft to deal with.
We do, but we have a few things we need to do before then. We can see our owner's actually very happy with us. We got a new broadcast deal. Lou Lamoriello gives us our drafting, telling us Ed Belfour's the best looking guy. So add another goalie to the mix? Who knows? And any major... Excuse me. We didn't lose anyone, it looks like. Development report shows some guys going down.
Yeah. There's one thing we can cheat a little bit on free agent-wise.
Whatever do you mean, Jeff?
Well, Mike Ridley, was he at the University of Manitoba?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, who had playing Canadian college hockey, which you make it to that point, you're probably not ever going to the NHL. But he came out of there and wound up going to having a long NHL career. And 3.5-star potential here. I think that's pretty much obvious. We've got to sign him there.
We're also going to offer Adam Oates, one of my favorite players, contract.
Yep, coming out of RPI as a free agent. This was the year that there was was it this year or was it the next year? I gotta look up one guy to...
Now, Kevin Stevens is also...
This was the year, yeah. This was the year that there were a bunch of high-profile guys coming out of college, and there was, as free agents, and there was a bidding war. So it was Oates, Ray Staszak, and Dwight Mathiasen. And Staszak and Mathiasen turned out to be nothing, but Oates obviously worked out pretty well.
Now, we do need some defensive depth. So we should probably give an offer to Norm McIver, too, should we not?
Is he in there? Yeah. Yes, this is the one thing that's a little unrealistic about playing it historical. You know how to cherry pick the guys who get passed over in the draft.
Jeff, a cheater? Say it ain't so, Smelly Wrestling Geek says in the chat. All right.
Oh, come on, Adam's much worse than me for that.
I'm not cheating at all. I'm looking to see who's available, who makes sense for us. Tapio Levo. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd been with Finnish defenseman, played for the Devils, and was pretty much all offense, no defense. But not really better than anybody we've got now.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anyone else who's really jumping
Basically, the equivalent of Mo Mantha, and Mantha's much better, at least for us at this point.
Yeah, nobody else credibly jumping out off. We don't need another goalie prospect right now. Gary Emons.
I think wound up being a Shark.
Jim Johnson. Another defensive guy.
It was and an actual Penguin.
Offer him a contract?
Actual Pittsburgh Penguin. He's not an actual Penguin.
Shocker. Should we offer him a contract?
Yeah, sure.
All right. That yeah, we have 5 open offers right now. That's probably good. That would bring us up to 41 contracts.
Yeah, we got the draft coming too.
Just take
The
quick.
draft is the Wendell Clark, Craig Simpson draft, and Joe Nieuwendyke's probably the best player in it. And the draft is bad enough that I think if you look up the top point scorers that came out of this draft, Igor Larionov was third, and he didn't start playing until he was 29.
Well, Larry,
playing in the NHL at least.
He was pretty good the entire time. Oh, Wayne Babbage wants a no trade clause.
Yeah, I'm thinking no.
Yeah, that's a no. All right, I put out a couple contract offers there too. So annual budget here. We probably want to keep our development up if we can, but we don't really have a lot of points to do that. We'll probably go up by 1. We'll raise ticket prices. Normal maintenance. Minimal marketing spend. Or no marketing spend.
Minimum.
All right.
Don't want to hurt the crowds too badly.
All right. We could go up by another 15 points to raise the development by 3 if you want. We do have enough. It only brings us down to 44.6.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's also, actually, I guess I forgot here. Finances, we didn't do. Monthly budget, which we're good at right now. We don't need to change any of that. Now, before we jump into the draft, should we put some, do some training? Since it is July 1st? Or do you want to wait to see if we sign these guys?
Yeah, let's wait until we get to see if those free agents sign, because you're going to probably want to trade some of them.
Okay.
And
all right. Let's advance to the next day then. And we see some deals. And okay, Hextall signs and Mike Bullard signs, which makes sense. And looks like we're getting some happy people. All right, trades. Gary Suter goes for Matt Snaslund. Interesting. Otherwise, not many two big names there. All right, and okay, we see a bunch of contracts get dissolved. Anyone interesting?
probably not. It'll mostly be teams just clearing out a little bit of contract space.
A few more trades. Anders Hedberg gets traded for a second-round pick, goes to Quebec.
Yeah, I think he was almost done at this point because he'd already been traded to Minnesota in the middle of last season and didn't really have a good time with Minnesota.
Mark Crawford gets traded for Wes Jarvis. Brett Hull gets traded. Wow, to the Islanders.
Is it as bad as the real life Brett Hull trade?
Yes.
Who was it for?
Brett Persson. Stefan Persson.
Yep, that's not. I mean, Persson was coming off the Islanders dynasty team, so I'm sure he looks good, but yeah, Calgary's going to regret that one.
Islanders are going to like that. Oh, Boris Salming gets traded for Colin Patterson. Okay. We're picking 13th overall. And then after that...
Yeah. That's supposed to be the actual Penguins who were picking second this year and got Craig Simpson, but Simpson might actually be available by the time we get down to our pick.
Claude Julien has been released. And Peter Lube. All right, yeah, nobody too noticeable, but if we look at free agents to see if anyone's jumping out, no, nobody new. All right. Let's do a draft, Jeff. So, first overall pick on this one was actually...
Wendell Clark.
Wendell Clark, yes. So
the Leafs. Who's drafting first anyhow?
Mock draft says it's going to be Joe Nieuwendyk.
Which probably makes sense.
Followed by Ed Belfour to Minnesota, Mike Richter to Winnipeg. They are saying we would actually get Frederick Olofsson. Who was a Jet in real life, yes? Yeah, okay. And a Pittsburgh Penguin, actually, too, for, yeah. A short bit of time.
Yeah, good goalie draft. Actually, great goalie draft.
Although, again, like Ed Belfour was not drafted in real life.
Yep.
All right, so let's see if we can do this. Craig Simpson goes surprise, first overall. So,
well, second overall in real life, but
we are not getting him. Next up, it's Mike Richter. Goes to Minnesota. Interesting. Ed Wernick goes to the Jets. Okay.
Ed Wernick, the curler?
Sorry. Yes. Habit.
The wrench.
Eric Weinrich. I don't know. Yeah, I just, we had him in, was it the Jets? I think when we did the late 80s one, I did the same thing. Just habit. Bill Ranford goes to New Jersey. Number 4.
Nieuwendyk's still hanging in there.
Joe Nieuwendyk goes to Montreal. Okay. Things are getting interesting. Hogue goes to Vancouver. How do you feel about that, Jeff?
Typical mid-80s Canucks pick. It wasn't that bad, I guess, but...
Guy Hebert goes to Detroit. I think the NHL might need to turn down the injury settings this year. I don't know. It's been interesting. Number 8 is Chorsky. Oh, I missed that. There was a trade. Detroit gets number 7, and St. Louis got the 10th and 73rd overall, so to move up 3 spots. Okay. Alf Dolin goes number 9 to Toronto. 10th pick is Ed Belfour finally goes to St. Louis.
Is Wendell Clark going to fall down to us, though?
Oh, Mike Keene's there, too. Interesting. Sean Burke goes 11.
Are we 12 or 13?
We're 13. Curtis Joseph goes 12th. So we are left with scouts tell us
cleaned out.
Just looking here, yes. So Los Angeles makes a trade for the 12th pick. Hartford gets the 14th and a 4th overall pick to move up. Steve Chiasson is our scout suggestion, telling us, followed by Frederick Olofsson.
I think I pass.
Safe suggestion is Terry Zapperzan.
What?
I
mean, I know who he is, but that's surprising to see him way up there. He was
not even Randy
McKay. For Kelowna.
Yeah, or
he played for Kelowna in WHL, the Kelowna's old WHL team. But he was he even drafted? I don't think so.
Yeah,
it was very late round. Huh?
Risky suggestions is Mike Keene, who I would be more likely to take. Wendell Clark is actually number 11 down there on for risky suggestions. But you're telling me we have to take Wendell Clark, huh?
I think that would be the better one. I mean,
What's our scouts say?
Keane is. We do have guys who can play. You know, we've got Dave Hannon and Troy Loney and Bob Airy all coming up who are going to be basically the checking line eventually.
Well,
So I'm not sure really where Keane fits in. And Clark.
Well, we could put Wendell Clark on the first line with Lemieux and leave. Oh man, the guy who we traded for last year, whose name suddenly is escaping my brain. Formerly Sittler, yeah.
I mean, Sittler's going to go downhill quickly. I wouldn't count on him doing much.
All right.
But
So,
I mean, we would be able to trade Warren Young away while his value is still relatively high.
Okay, just taking a look here. We do have a second, third, fourth, fifth. Yeah, okay, we do have a full complement of picks. If we do want to make a trade up here. Because we do need defensive depth. It would be nice to grab Olofsson. Chiasson goes to Hartford. Is reported Boston may be willing to trade this pick for the right package. Do we want to talk to Boston about this for the 15th pick?
You can try.
What does Boston want? They're looking for centers. Well, let's see. We want their first round pick. We'll probably have to give up our second round pick, I'm going to guess, right?
Yeah, somebody like Ron Flockhart, maybe. He missed most of the season to injury. But still has a little bit of value.
Says, I think they'll be likely willing to accept this offer. Okay, can we... I just wonder if we can trade a third pick. No, third won't do it. Second seems to be, can we get another pick out of them? Okay, they'll do a first and a fourth for our second and Ron Flockhart. Yes?
Fourth for... Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we're basically trading up spots and then flipping Flockhart for a fourth rounder. All right. Back to the
Flockhart had a couple of decent seasons left in him at this point. But
yeah. Now, you're good
other
with
centers.
Olofsson over Tenorti?
Yeah. Tenorti was a good defense move. We want a puck mover.
Yeah.
Better than Momantha.
Tenorti goes next pick with 16th. Emerson goes 17th.
I didn't say Lume was there as well.
Manson goes 18th to Quebec. Mike Keane goes to Buffalo with 19. Holder goes to Washington. Randy McKay goes to Edmonton. Finley goes to the Rangers. Wolanin goes to Minnesota. Cole goes to the Jets. Luongo goes to the Devils.
Go.
King goes to Philly. Philly traded the 26 picks for the 38th and 80th. Okay. McLellan goes to Vancouver. Gilchrist. Actually, should I just speed this up because we don't have it? We got quite a ways to go. Oh, the Bandits coming up.
Daniel Bertium. Pretty big prospect coming out of the QMJHL, but
Okay. Scott
no, we don't really need another goalie. Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to pick Human just because we got a little ways to go here.
Yeah. This will take a minute because it's...
No, it's done already.
Yeah. That's fast.
Historical. All right, so 30th, just checking. Eastwood. Dallas Eakins goes to Minnesota at pick 39. Lume goes pick 42 to Vancouver.
Yeah, so he does wind up in Vancouver instead of stopping at Montreal like he did in real life.
Grattan goes to the Rangers. Kelly Buckberger. Man, he must have been ranked a little lower than I would have him at pick 48.
That's about right.
All right, so the Bandit is still there, but we still kind of need more defensive depth. All the top guys are forwards.
Yeah, we've got Jamie Baker, Northeastern Sharks, Randy Burridge, Bruins and Caps.
Matt, not just the Bandit, Pokey's there too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, both sides of that. You got the bad Stefan Richer. Scroll down a little bit or just filter it to defenseman.
No, I'll just move it.
Is there anything in the 2 stars?
I mean, there's some 2 stars. Let's just look at scout suggestions here really quick. Rob Robinson is the top. That's a safe suggestion. Jeff Sharples. That's a guy who we had in our Winnipeg stream.
Yeah, he actually, he was briefly in the, I went to high school with him. He was like 3 or 4 grades higher.
Risky suggestions are including Randy Burridge, Frederick Stillman. Okay, back to the draft.
I think we may need to go best player available here and take Burridge.
Well, let's just look here. 2-star defensemen, seeing if there's anyone. Brian McKee, name I recognize.
But not very good. Yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of guys who will still be here when the next pick comes around.
All right.
Rudy Poschek, if you want a tough guy.
So
yeah, I don't think it makes sense to grab one of these guys here.
Top ability is showing, or potential ability. Shows Burridge and Baker.
I think Burridge is the one here for sure.
Tell me more about Burridge. Its name I don't recognize immediately. So real stats.
Drafted by the Bruins.
Okay.
Trade to the Capitals, like 40, 50 points a year at this peak. 67 one year, that's right.
Ended with
and Sabres later, yep.
Okay.
Kind of inconsistent, but and injury prone, but could score a bit.
All right.
And he lasted quite a while.
Randy Burridge, you are a Pittsburgh Penguin. All right, we will pick until human again. Oh, we have a trade offer.
Yeah, and you can see that's one of the new things this year. You'll get interrupted.
So we get the 76th pick, and they get, or sorry, they get the 76th pick. We get their 4th round pick. And
they throw in a 7th rounder. So
what? That's.
It gives us an extra pick. I don't know if it'll turn into anything, but we kind of need depth now, so maybe.
Well, we pick up a pick next year. Do we really need something this year, I guess, is the question. Like, is something going to happen?
Oh, it's round 4 next year. Wait, what's next year's draft?
Ends up going 64th overall to New Jersey.
Was next year strong?
Well, Baker's still here. We don't really need a center.
Next year's wasn't significantly better than this year. That's the Joe Murphy, Jimmy Carson draft, where Brian Leach turned out to be the best guy.
Well, would you like to?
Once you get out of the first round, it gets pretty sketchy that year.
Well, do you want to take Jamie Baker then and forget it?
Yeah, I'd say reject the deal.
Just looking. 150 points in 404 games, minus 50. right, we're going to reject that trade. Or we could take Pokey. Oh, I'm so tempted to take Pokey. I mean, we could take...
If he's still there in the next one, you can take Pokey.
Well, we could take Frederick Stillman, too. Another defenseman. But
didn't actually make the NHL in real life, I don't think so.
We'll take Baker. Okay.
Tommy Sidian would be the better one if we were taking a defenseman. But yeah, I think we do a defenseman next time.
Well, we had an extra 4th round pick here. Montreal was offering us their 5th rounder and a 7th rounder to move up 11 spots. But we don't really need an extra. If it was a pick next year, or do you want this? You tell me what you want, Jeff.
I'll go ahead and take that one. It's only 11 picks.
All right. We will accept that trade then. All right. Bunch of trades, and Pokey Reddick's still there, so we're picking him up.
Okay.
No questions asked. Pick 89th, we grab him. Oh, we have back-to-back picks. Okay.
I would probably go with Thomas Jadine or the lesser Stéphane Richer.
So Gene, okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Defenseman, which we need. And we will pick until human again. All right, we're now at pick 118. Dwayne Joyce is the top guy we see, followed by the less Stéphane Richer. You want to take the lesser? You mentioned him before, so.
Yeah, I think he's probably the best one there, and he's right. Well, they're all right-handed.
I can play both sides too, so.
Yeah.
All right, grab him. Pick until human again. And top guy left is still Dwayne Joyce, followed by Kevin McDonald and Bob J. Actually, that's just a great name. Bob J.
IHL legend Michel Mongeau after that.
Well, I'd still like to
Michel Mongeau, also a good name.
Defense.
Well, maybe go with Joyce then. He's been sitting there so long.
I see Todd Krieger down here too.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. It's... Anybody else interesting if you go farther?
Forgot he ended with the Solar Bears. Larry DePalma. Okay.
Bob Beers. Always 1.5 stars.
Great name. But how many jerseys we'd sell of that now? If you had a guy that name in the league right now, P. Wog, thanks for coming out. Go Wings, he says. I would definitely buy a jersey with a guy whose last name is Beers on the team.
I mean, Beers might be an option here. He's had a pretty good career.
Well, we could grab him probably in the next round too, because he is far.
Maybe go for Krieger this round and then Beers next one if he's still there.
All right, I like it. Todd Krieger is picked. And just taking a quick look.
We lose him?
Let's see.
Don't see him.
I was trying to see him in the
there
other
he
part.
is.
Oh, was he there?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, yeah, right there. Bob Beers.
On the draft. Yeah.
Okay, done. Another pick, so we could still take Larry DePalma. Paul Stanton. Is that former
Penguin and Bruin, yep.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I think Stanton. Yeah. So we got a big pile of defensive prospects now, which we desperately need.
Oh, we can also make some trades. De Palma's still there. Anybody else interesting, I guess?
Well, De Palma's the only 2-star guy left, so might as well.
Oh, he's not the only
Philippe
two-star guy
Guzan.
left. There's lots of two-star guys left.
Well, there are. I had it sorted weird.
No, I just don't think I was all the way up. Take Bob J. Great name. Kevin McDonald, Dwayne Joyce. Who do you like?
Scroll down a little. How far down do the 2 stars go?
That's it. What you see is the 2 stars.
Maybe go with Mongeau then.
Jeff's making me pick 20-year-olds. I see how it is. And I think we're getting close to the end of our draft.
Will be it, I think.
Joyce is still available.
Oh, what the hell? Take Joyce. He's been there forever.
Well, I mean, Bob J's still there. Bob J.
Okay, Bob J.
I'm just looking. Bob J literally had a cup of coffee, 3 games in the NHL.
A long time Detroit Viper.
Dwayne Joyce had a cup of coffee, 3 games in the NHL too. Did Kevin McDonald play in the NHL?
Very briefly, if he did.
He played 1 game in the NHL. All right. All right, which one do you want me to pick? Do you still want me to go Joyce or you want me to go Jay? Or someone else?
Go with Jay.
Bob J. He is the youngest of them. Okay, Joyce is still there, so do we take him now?
Okay, yeah, just out of pity at this point.
All right, Dwayne Joyce.
Got so many defensive prospects now.
Oh, still one more again. Okay, so
12 rounds.
Mika Niemian, Mark Fortier.
Larry De Palma's still there. Darren Banks played a little bit with Ottawa.
Keith Priestley? Ken Priestley.
Ken Priestley. Victoria Cougars. And then Sabres.
Just checking. Anybody create 6'6". Can't say his name. Defenseman. All right, interesting.
Star potential. I think we'll pass. Tony Horacek. I saw him break the glass in the old Kelowna Arena with a shot once.
Interesting. And shortest guy is... Oh, well, there's a data error for you, Jeff. Mark Olson is apparently showing up. Oh, no, now it changed. That was weird.
Yeah, I saw it too, though. He weighs 95 pounds. Rapidly gaining weight.
Well, he went from 0-0 to 6'3", so that was... All right. I'm not really seeing anyone who's grabbed my attention super hard here. So Banks is the top guy showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, take
go with Banks.
All right.
Yeah.
And we're finally done. All right. How do you think? Do you think we finished in the top or down below?
I think we may have had one of the better ones.
We should for having 2 first-round picks. And we did. Getting Wendell Clark and Frederick Olofsson. Which, I mean, we should.
Yeah, Devils with Ranford, Chris Luongo. Canadians had a good one too. Jim Pack, Brad Delgarno after Nieuwendyk. Kay Whitmore. Yeah, they got a bunch of guys who made it.
Yeah. All right.
Worst.
Oh, sorry.
Stars actually get called the worst with. Yeah, I got a little delay on it, so I can still read it while you're.
I flipped it back. Yeah. Yeah, Richter Eakins. I mean, I get Eakins.
Richter alone will save that for them. That's not going to be the worst draft.
Who is the North Stars goalie right now? Oh, Don Beaupre and Gilles Meloche. Well, they don't.
Yeah, this is still the goalies that took them to the Cup or the finals in '81.
Yeah, and they got John Casey. So they're pretty stacked in net for a while.
Troy Gamble, too, as a prospect.
Okay. Oh, no. Ooh, okay, thank goodness it stopped. All right, Mike Ridley has signed with us. Nice.
Remember, you want to do training, too, after you get a few of these guys signed?
That's why I realized my mistake and only Ridley has signed so far.
May get some competition for some of these.
All right, Jim Johnson has signed. Norm McIver signed. Adam Oates has signed. I don't know why those pictures are not generating. Kevin Stevens has signed. All right. Numbers assigned. So that's everybody offered. I guess we need to get Wendell Clark under contract.
Yeah, possibly Olsen too.
All right. Olofsson has been offered. Anybody else jump in saying we really need to sign them?
I think we can wait for now.
I just meant of our free agent, or not free agents, of our unsigned guys. We do have, yeah, okay, we do have 4 goalies under contract. Okay. All right, time to get some training programs set up. All right, so who do we want to train, Jeff? Probably Adam Oates.
I would say Mario definitely is the first priority.
Well, he's already 5 stars.
Yeah, but he's still got a ton of improvement to.
All right, what do you want
room to improve?
What do you want him to get better at then?
I just say
shooting.
Probably the category training and offensive.
All right. Adam Oates is going to get trained on
playmaking.
Playmaking? All right.
Adam Oates. I mean,
I know. Where's it? Oh, we haven't got our defenseman signed yet, right? Olofsson still needs to sign. So we need to save a couple spots for them.
Doug Bodger, we should probably give some time to.
I know he's right in front of me, but I'm not seeing him.
5th from the top. First defenseman listed.
There we go. Yep. We want his defensive skills.
Yeah. Try that first.
Yep. And then do you want to wait till we get these other 2 guys signed?
Maybe McSorley, and then come back to the other 2.
McSorley. Right there. You want McSorley to be trained as more defensive, or?
Let's put him on physical.
All right. Okay. Just gonna advance by the days until those guys are signed. There's an interesting trade.
LIF-Frady to the Blues for Bernie Federico. There's a Leafs trade for you. I mean, IF-Frady's going to cause issues in the Blues locker room, but still Federico is
All right. Wendell Clark has
near-ish to the
signed.
end.
He wants 17, but Mike Ridley already has 17.
Good. We got a low number for him.
13 is our lowest. 13, 15, 18.
I'd say maybe 15.
He seems okay with that. All right, now that we have him, let's get him training.
Yep.
And what do you want him to be training as? Offense? Defense?
Offense, I think, to start with.
All right.
He was actually playing as a defenseman in Saskatoon, but the Leafs made him a winger right away.
And Frederick Olofsson has signed. Oh, what was that trade? Steve Payne, a 7th rounder for Jim Fox and Dean Kennedy. All right. Let's get Olofsson training now. I'm guessing you want him offense then?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
And got room for one more, so Hextall.
I was wondering about Kevin Stevens, but we can do Hextall.
Yeah, just get one of the goalies moving in. Hextall's lagging ragged a little bit, so.
You want goalie technique?
Yeah, technique.
All right. Let's fire him off.
And yeah, everybody's in the blue there. Nobody projected shortfalls, so we'll see what happens.
All right, we have a trade proposal from Toronto.
Hopefully a bad one for them.
Jim Benning for Wayne Babbage. Not actually a terrible trade offer.
Yeah, I mean, Benning had knee problems and that eventually ended his career early, but young defenseman for a guy who's about to drop off radically. And yeah, I think that makes sense. Let's do it.
Okay.
So the Blues actually reuniting Federico and Babbage, who were St. Louis's first line in the early 80s.
All right, so that gives us a little bit of a change. Okay, do we have anyone else? No, that solves our problem because I guess he was going to walk as a free agent anyways because he wanted way too much money. Dave Hannon, do we want to re-sign him?
Yeah, for sure.
He's fine. 145.
Yeah, that's our defensive center for the next few years.
Yep. All right. Well,
just out of curiosity, what does Sittler want?
Okay. Hannon just said Jim Benning wants 3. He can get 44 though, so he's going to take 44. Sittler wants 1 year, 98.5 thousand.
That's actually pretty cheap. I mean, it would keep him happy this year.
Okay, we'll sign it.
If we run out of trouble this year, we could trade him at the deadline.
Did that not work? Change
What are you trying to do?
I was just trying to set him for just to be left wing. It says center. We were trading him on left wing. Oh, Gilles Meloche gets traded to the Capitals.
Yeah, we saw that coming. Because
For
the
JF
Capitals
Sauvé.
had that big.
That's a
Meloche is coming off an awful year, and the Stars have a lot of talent in goal right now. So,
oh. Dave Hunter gets moved for Tim Tukey. Hunter to Toronto. Okay. Just checking in on our training programs and looking good so far. Now, I didn't actually look, speaking of which. Ooh, okay, lots going down there. Ooh, Tiger Williams falls to 1 star.
yeah, he may not be playing much this year. And Warren Young started to decline. So is Sittler.
What was I going to look at? I was going to do something very specific, and my brain just suddenly forgot. I don't know.
And what I want to look at, check the prospect rankings for the league.
I was going to look at Trade Block. Brad Parks on Trade Block.
Yeah, he's pretty much finished.
Yeah.
Tom McCarthy, injury prone.
Prospect rankings. Wendell Clark is number 2 behind Joe Newendike. We actually have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
That's
in the
really
top
behind
100.
the system rankings.
5 in the top 100.
Got to be near the top in the system rankings.
Oh, but the defenseman, sorry. 7, 8. Okay, 8 in the top 100. We are second behind Montreal. Which is fair.
Good news. Oh, yeah. But Montreal's not too bad. Patrick Waugh, Joe Newendike, Gary Suter, Stéphane Richer, and Claude Lemieux. Yeah, I guess they'll do okay with those guys.
There's a reason why they won the Cup. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Is our staff doing okay? Just looking at it quick.
Yeah, I re-signed the...
I mean, if we could have a better defensive coach, but that would be...
He's still pretty good.
Yeah. Just as offensive.
And he's good with prospects, too, so...
Esposito makes the haul with Rogie Vachon, Jean Rattel, and Doug Mones. All right. Coaches report on new players. Fredrik Olofsson's taken out a tough time coming to Pittsburgh. Everybody else is okay.
Yeah, we don't really have a lot of Swedes in the lineup, do we?
No. I mean, we could have signed 1 or 2 more, but... Off-season training. Mike Bullard goes up. Bob Erie goes up. Randy Hillier goes up. Mo Mantha goes up. Daryl Sittler goes up. Well, that's good. Sittler got a little bit better in determination.
Yeah, he's slowing down, but the mental stuff is still going up for him. That's good.
All right, looking like we should be okay here.
Yeah, we're going to have, looks like Mario will be the first one down. We might be able to squeeze in another one for him.
All right, Ken Reggett goes up. Also nice. Termination and team player. Oh, you get 2.5 stars now. I think he was only at 2, wasn't he?
Yeah, he may be the starter next year, I think.
He's been number 1 on our depth chart now. Brickley.
Yeah, everyone goes up a little.
So, all right. All right, Gassos. All right. Norm Schmidt, Jim Johnson. Norm McIver goes up a little bit too. Also good. And we have hit September. Not tonight, Cornet Gaming. Let's see. Todd Charlesworth, Jim Hamilton, no Puzo, Tom Thornberry. Tiger Williams goes up in strength. Well, he's back up to 1.5 stars now, at least. So he's riding that line very closely. Mike Ridley gets up in positioning. All right, 2 stars. We have nobody in the top jersey selling. That seems uncool. I'm going to put a little bit into team morale right now. Willie Lindstrom's on the move. Gets traded to Washington. All right. We must have some training that's getting done here very shortly. Looks like everybody's getting done other than Hextall. Oh, and McSorley.
Yeah, I should
Jim
get one this time.
Kevin Stevens going up. Nice. Wendell Clark gets a little bit better with his offensive reads. Edmonton looking at moving Yari Curry. We are considered someone who they could get him.
Short of trading Mario, there's no way we're getting him.
Frederick Olofsson goes up in offensive read and passing, but he's still 1 star. And we are at our first game with Mike Bullard has shown up out of shape.
That's not good.
So do we criticize him publicly, criticize him internally, or ignore it?
Let's criticize him internally.
All right. Looking at our training here. Okay, yeah, so Hextall and McSorley are left with 1 week. So looks like we
we're
hit what we needed to.
Yeah, if you tried to squeeze one in now, well, just out of curiosity, maybe see if you tried to train Mario in just something general or something like the say offense again. What would it do?
A lot of red.
Yeah, better than even chance of getting something, but I mean, he is going to be playing every game for us.
Also coming back from an injury, don't forget.
Okay, be conservative.
Well, we don't want to have him go down on us. That wouldn't be good. All right.
Take a chance on Kevin Stevens.
Norm McIver's getting sent down to Baltimore. You want me to send some? Okay. You want me to put Kevin Stevens?
Just make sure you play Stevens in all the exhibition games.
If I could find his name here again, because my brain's not working. There he is. Skill category. What do you want him? Physical?
Let's go with offensive.
Okay.
How much red do we get?
About 50-50. 55-45.
Let's take a chance.
All right.
And yeah, just make sure he's in the lineup every game.
Yeah, I'm just seeing who's coming in, who's coming out. I'd like to get Adam Oates in there too.
I think maybe move Doug Shedden to right wing. Sittler back at center because we got lots of left wings right now.
Move Shedden to right wing as a okay. I'd like to get Olofsson in some games too to see if he gets some improvement. All right, and we got Benning now. Might not actually have room for Olofsson on the team right now.
Take Charlesworth out, maybe.
Yeah.
Had a really good season last year, but it was a bit of a fluke.
All right, if I just throw the lines like that, let's see what happens. Wendell Clark on the fourth or third line. Sittler's on the third line. Kind of like Wendell Clark being on the first line.
Yeah, I would go with Clark, Lemieux, and Shedden as the first line. No, I wouldn't put Clark on right wing.
All right.
Well, it shows up out of shape, and you're going to let him play on the first line.
I wasn't going to do. I just let the assistant set it up and see what happened. I feel like we should still have Sittler on the wing, the way it's going, but okay. We definitely need to get a new role for Frederick Olofsson because he cannot be screener.
You may want to just scroll through all the guys in the lineup on the roster. I mean.
All right, we're starting with him then. Brickley looks fine. Erie is set to two-way forward. He's a little bit better at grinder, but I think two-way forward works for him. Troy Loney set to agitator, which is fine, but he's actually a 13 on a grinder. Should we move him to a grinder?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Maybe take a few less penalties that way. Gary Risling is a goon at 18, and yeah, that's pretty much where he'll stay. Sittler is a playmaker, and yeah. Warren Young. I feel like you're crippling Sittler by taking him off the first line and moving him onto his own line. He should be on that left wing again.
You can put him there, but I was figured try and build chemistry between Mario and Clark.
Well, that's why. I mean, he already had some chemistry there. Warren Young is 14 as a screener. He's 14 as a sniper, though. Should we move him to sniper?
Yeah, sure, try it.
Kevin Stevens, 10, basically across the board. He's fine. Wendell Clark is set to 12 as a screener. Grinder, he's a 13. Power forward, he's a 12. I think that's probably his.
Yeah, I think, power forward works better for him.
Makes more sense. Mike Bullard can be pretty much anything. He's currently set at playmaker.
Maybe perimeter shooter, just so we got another, because Sittler's already a playmaker if they wind up playing together.
Okay. Hannon, 14. Looks good as a grinder, though. Two-way forward, he's actually. Do you want him as a grinder or two-way forward?
Let's go with two-way forward.
Mitch Lamoureux, 12 is his best, although he's power forward, he's a 12 too.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be playing much for us this year, so.
Him as a grinder, as it is. Mario Lemieux, perimeter shooter, 20. Sniper, 20. Dangler, 20. Speedy forward, 20. Playmaker, 20. Gretzky's office, 20.
Pretty much wherever you want him, 20.
Yeah. Do you want to move him to sniper instead of perimeter shooter?
We've got Clark as power forward, and on the other side.
Other side is going to be Sittler moving into that playmaker.
Okay, yeah, try Lemieux's sniper.
But then Clark, hold on. Clark's got to be on right wing for that to work then. As I move Sittler to the right side to learn how to play the right, which can work. That's what preseason's for. All right, we'll do that. All right, I forget where we were here. We were on Mark Taylor, maybe-ish. Playmaker.
Yeah, just looking at the depth chart, by the way, we got Alain Belanger is pretty high on right wing. And still on the farm team.
Yeah, Mike really looks like he needs to move to counter-attacking forward.
Yep.
Adam Oates needs to be moved to playmaker.
Definitely.
Bruce Crowder, two-way forward, he's a 12. Aggressive forechecker, he's a 12.
Aggressive forechecker.
Gautsos, aggressive forechecker, he's a 9. Grinder, 10. Two-way forward, 10. Up and down winger, 10. Let's say up and down winger for him. Doug Shudden, counterattacking forwards, 14. Playmaker's also 14, but probably counter-attacking forward is fine. Tiger Williams is not changing. Voters 12 at defense, and yeah, that could stay. Charles with two-way defenseman, he's a 12, so he's going to get moved to that.
Yeah. I was a quarterback last year. That's probably has something to do with why I put up so many points.
Old school defenseman Randy Hillier. Yeah.
That's fine.
Brian Maxwell, stay-at-home defenseman. Crease clearing's 11, but
that's fine.
Two-way defenseman 9 for Poudre.
Poudre, you can just probably send down. He's not. We just got him as a throw-in at a trade.
Yeah, Jim Johnson. Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe stay at home.
All right. Jim Benning. Mobile defenseman, he's a 13. Point shooter, he's a 13. Rushing defenseman, he's a 13. Mobile?
I'd go with mobile. Yeah.
Rod Buskus, 13, and yeah, that's fine. Mo Mantha, two-way defenseman, 13. Yeah, still a good role for him. Marty McSorley, enforcer. Yeah. Norm Schmidt. Yep. And we're back to Olofsson, which is where we started.
Okay, so I got all that set up.
You
And
wanted me to send down...
Poudrier.
Right.
And maybe call up Belanger. Let's just look at the depth chart.
Yeah, well, some of these guys might not even be in, but we can call him up. Actually, I forgot to just quick peek at Ron Hextall. Yeah, he's still 1 star. Ford's actually slipped. Pokey Reddick's actually ahead of him now. Interesting.
Yeah. Hextall should get most of the starts. And where's the farm team? Baltimore still this year?
Yep, skipjacks. All right. Sim out a game and 7-1 victory over Vancouver. Shedden has 4 goals and 2 assists.
Okay. So
that's a spanking. So Shedden on the 3rd line apparently is a good way to start.
that's a pretty good 3rd line. He's got Warren Young with him.
And game versus Quebec here. Throw Heron in for this one. Otherwise, no switches. And 6-3 wallop over Quebec. Off-season training report. Sittler goes up by 1 for team player. Nice. Sim out and 5-4 loss to Hartford. Outshot them 38-24. Jim Benning was injured. Off-season update, Marty McSorley got 2 better at fighting. Benning has a serious facial cut. All right, well, let's replace him and bring in Hillier. Huron gets a start versus Montreal. 6-0 victory over Montreal and Patrick Waugh.
Check how Kevin Stevens' training is coming.
I was going to do that. Right now. Still some red there.
Not as much. I think we're going to be okay.
All right, gonna turn up the team morale a little bit more. Just gonna try and get through the preseason here, and then we'll call it for the stream.
Okay.
Bullard's at 77%, but you know what? He can work it off. Trying to get him in shape. 7-1 victory over Montreal. All right, then we hop on the train. And we play the Islanders. All right. And it's a 5-2 victory. Training camp development report. All right. Jamie Baker with some big ups. Darren Banks. Mike Ridley gets a... Olofsson picks up a couple points. All right. Bob Beers gets a little better. And, oh, that's nice. That guy we got in that trade is going down. Danielle Poudry. Beautiful. All right. Last preseason game. Versus Edmonton, and at least I'm thinking this is the last preseason game. 6-1 victory. Mike Bullard gets 2 goals and 1 assist. And this is the perfect place for us to stop off-season training. Brian Ford gets a little better. Wait a second. Was he half-star potential?
Ooh.
Brian Ford?
No, he's dropped off quite a bit, but he's 24 and he's not really improving. So
he's just tanked.
Yeah.
All right. With that, then, I think that's probably the perfect spot to stop, Jeff. Yes?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. With that, then, thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, with stream archives going live Saturdays at about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our European viewers. Of course, you can reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. We're also on Bluesky as @Franchise Hockey. You can also find us on Instagram and Threads as Franchise Hockey Manager or Franchise Hockey, as well as any other social media. Or you can check out our website, which is ootpdevelopments.com/FHM Social, which will show you all the social links. And of course, you can come on down to the official forums, which are in the top right-hand corner of that website. And that'll come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
Oh, we're working on the next update for the game. The upcoming one will have the first version of the current database, which I just finished working on yesterday. So it'll be up to date as of probably yesterday for the NHL and Sunday, I think, for everywhere else. And yeah, I think that the Adam Lowry, the new contract for him won't be in. We just missed that. But it's going to. We still have to do a little bit of testing on it. It's going to be a little bit longer than I thought it would. There's a few more things I think we need to address before we do the update. I was hoping it would be out towards the end of this week. Probably not this. Probably not going to be that soon. We'll need a little while longer on it. So I'll update you on that when I've got a better idea of it. But still coming along with that.
All right. Oh, man. Wendell Clark has fallen to number 3 on the, or number 4 on the rankings. Oh, Patrick was.
Well, we're still looking pretty good.
Yeah. All right. With that, then, thank you all very much for tuning in, and we will see you all again next week.